Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Super here. Welcome to another how to play video, and today we're going to be covering Johnny Cage in mostly stunt double and fisticuffs. I will give some tips on how to play A-list at the end of the video, but I don't play the variation too much, even though in my opinion I think it's the best variation, just because I can't do the run cancels properly to make the variation work very well. But I will give you guys some tips on how to use A-list if you're interested. So let's get started here with Johnny Cage. I think Johnny Cage is one of the most fun characters to play. So if you're looking for a fun character that's also really good, pick up Johnny Cage, because I just recently picked him up and I've been having such a blast playing him. And I think it's very good as well. So some of the best things that he has, I'm gonna try not to go too long because I do have to cover 3 variations. So I'm gonna go over some of the basics. Down 4 is very, very good. This is your main pretty much like footsie tool around the mid-range and stuff. It has good range, it low profiles a lot of things, and it's safe on block. It's -6, and if you actually get someone with a down 4, you could get your offense started because it's +22 on hit. So it's very good. Something else is Johnny's forward 2. If you annoy your opponent enough, you do down 4s, down 4s, down 4s, he's going to want to block low. So that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people do down 4s a lot with Johnny. So your opponent can block low, and then you open your opponent up with forward 2-4, which is very good. It's his most damaging. His forward 2 leads into his most damage. So here's a regular bread and butter combo with Johnny Cage. So you do forward 2-4, down 1 into forward 3 into nut punch. So it looks like this. So that's a standard bread and butter combo. Of course, you could do a meter burn version of the nut punch to extend the combo a little bit more, which would look something like this. 2-1, and then do the knee again. And messing up the combo. There you go. So that's 33% off of a overhead. It has a pretty good corner carry. You could actually end your combo a little bit early in stun double to get your aura up, which wouldn't be a bad idea, because once stun double has his aura, which is the main thing about his variation, it gets really scary. But I'm just going over some of the basics now. Forward 2, down 4, very good. Another one of Johnny Cage's amazing tools is his forward 3. This right here, look how far it goes. It is a forward advancing 11 frame mid that has a really good hitbox. It's very plus on block, when you combine it with certain things, which I'll talk about. And you could cancel, or you could combo into it with forward 3-4. This is a combo string. This is what I'm trying to say. You could do forward 3 by itself, or you could do forward 3-4, which is only -3 on block, and it does 12%. Your opponent can armor through it, and you could play mind games with your opponent. You could go into your forward 3 into aura, and your opponent might be expecting that, and then you catch him with a forward 3-4. It also is good for chip damage. To close out a game, you could do a block string, and then you do a forward 3-4. Really good. Another one of Johnny Cage's best qualities is his 1-1, or is his jab and his 1-1, because these recover really fast. As you guys see, it recovers really fast, and his standing 1 is +2. So let's put him on block real quick. So you could do standing 1 into grab. Look how fast 1-1 recovers. So fast. So you could go standing 1 into grab, or you could stagger it and do 1-1 into grab. And the reason why you're going to be getting a lot of grabs with Johnny Cage is because a lot of people are going to be scared of the low or the overhead. So you could either finish the combo string with 1-1-3 that ends with a low. You could stagger it. You could do 1-1 and then go for your forward 2. Or you could do 1-1 and go into a grab. So the 1-1 stagger is very, very strong with Johnny Cage. Also, his 1-1-4 is +2 on block, which is very good. +2 on block. That means you have 2 frames of advantage before your opponent can do anything. So you could do something like that. Down 4, to check him. And if he gets hit by it, you go back in and, start your offense again. So if you are learning how to play Johnny Cage, you will see that your opponent is going to respect this a lot. because you could go into that anytime. You could catch him like that anytime, and you could also go for the throw. So that's very good. And now let's get into some of his variation specialties. And before I do that, actually, let me just talk a little bit about some of his, his nut punch. Okay, so his nut punch is actually a very good anti-cross-up. If someone's trying to jump over you and stuff, you can nut punch him, and you go into a full combo, something like that. For an anti-air, 25%, really good. Nut punch is also good for doing a move through someone's gaps. So, for example, if Triborg tries to do 1-1-1-2, there's a gap in between the third and fourth hit. So, you could nut punch, get a nice little 25% damage every time you hit someone with a EX nut punch. So EX nut punch is really good. His shadow kick, it goes full screen. It's good for, it does 12%. It's good for game-ending situations if you can react to your opponent throwing a projectile and your opponent doesn't recover fast enough. For example, like Katana, if I can react to it, boom, it's going to catch him. It's going to go through the projectile, and it's going to catch your opponent for 12%, But it is a high, so you could always duck it. Your opponent could bait it, so be very, very careful on how you use it. So now let's get into the stunt double. Stunt double is a really strong variation because it has a lot of plus frames, and pretty much plus frames means you do a special move that has enough block stun so you could move before your opponent, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I'll demonstrate it for you guys here. So pretty much the main thing of this variation is your aura. So it's down back 4, and you get 2 like clones of yourself. So you could do that. That's one of the special moves. Back forward 4. It's like a shadow kick, but the clone has no hitbox. You know what I mean? So it could go through projectiles very easily without you losing any life or putting yourself in harm's way. I think it's really good, and it has a good amount of range, as you guys see. It does hit mid as well, so you can't actually duck it. And the other specialty or special move with the stunt double is down back 1, which is an elbow that launches your opponent so you could continue your combo. So if you get someone with a forward 2, you could switch up your combo, and instead of ending your combo in a nut punch, you could actually go into forward 3 into your elbow aura and extend your combo, something like this. And you could go into, anything that you want after that. And you could actually get some pretty good damage and a lot of corner carry if you have both of these two, if you have both your auras available and you open your opponent up with an overhead. So you get stuff like this. As you guys see, 46% with 1 bar with a crazy corner carry if you have both of your auras available. And one thing I will say is you are going to want to save your meter, which I'll talk about why in a bit. But the aura is really good. Something else that the aura has is the straight kick is very, very plus on block. And I'll show you guys right now. So if I call on my aura, look how long it takes for Johnny to do the nut punch after like I do a like 1-1-3 or something like that. Look at this. So he does it immediately. And if I hit him with the straight kick or the aura, as you guys see, it takes him a while to actually do the nut punch. And that is because the straight kick has a lot of block stun. So that means you have plus frames to do moves before your opponent does. And you could actually jail your opponent, which means he can't do any reversals, he can't backdash, he can't do anything about it. So let me see if I can demonstrate forward 3 into straight kick twice, and then forward 3-4. You do have to practice the timing, of course. But as you guys see, you're able to get, forward 3 into straight kick, forward 3 into straight kick very easily. And all that jails. And I could get another forward 3-4 to, get some more chip damage as well. There you go. So that is around maybe 10% chip that your opponent could do nothing about if he gets you in a forward 3. It also works with 1-1-4. because 114 is +2 on block. As you guys see, you know, I could have done a forward 3 into straight kick to jail him again. You know, so one thing that you want to do as a Johnny player, you want to use your straight kick, you know, as pressure. You can't armor through, let's see, how many could you armor through? You could armor through forward. Okay, so 113 into straight kick, your opponent could armor through it. There's not enough block stun in 113 to actually make it a true block string. So be very careful with doing it. Then you can make it a true block string if you do forward 2-4. As you guys see, 3-3 as well, 3-3-3. Just be careful using it after 114 because your opponent can't armor through it. Could always bait it, you know what I mean? So always use a straight kick, really good. Very plus on block. One of the best things about this variation is the plus frames of the straight kick. It gets really scary in the corner, and I'll show you guys why, especially if you have a bar of meter. So Johnny Cage has his second, the enhanced version of his second move in the aura is actually very, very strong, which actually I'll show you guys. I'll just talk about it here because you can jail your opponent to a lot of damage if you have, see, the reversal's still on, okay? Reversal's still on, and the meter burn version of your aura actually hits twice. It hits once going up and once coming down with an overhead, which is really good. And if you do have meter available and you want to close the game out, you could actually chip your opponent to death without him being able to do anything. So let's just say I get a jump in and open and, you know, do a 114. Okay, that was a bad example. Could do another jump in. All that jailed your opponent. It's a true block string. There is nothing he could do about it. And he lost around maybe 15-17% of his life. So the aura is very strong. And one of the best things about it is the, you know, what I was demonstrating right now. The EX version of the elbow is really good, guys. Really good. And I'll show you guys why right now. So let's set him to the right side of the screen. Let's have him just blocking off. Or actually, let's have him block in stance. So he's going to be blocking up. He's going to be, you know, vulnerable to low attacks. And he's going to have reversal on, of course. So one of the best things about stun double is you could actually create a really, really hard to block scenario for your opponent. So if you have your aura up and you have borrowed meter, you do a specific attack like forward 3 is my favorite because you still stay close to your opponent. But if you do a forward 3 and then you cancel it into your EX aura, it's going to jail your opponent so he cannot armor through it. And it's going to leave you with a scenario of the elbow coming down or the knee coming down on Johnny Cage as an overhead. And what you want to do then is do a sweep to create a really hard to block situation that is going to launch your opponent no matter what. So let's see if I can demonstrate it first try. So if you're here, let's just say you get a nut punch on someone, you go forward 3, then do a sweep. As you guys see, the overhead and low hit almost exactly at the same time. So let's demonstrate it again. Overhead low almost immediately. And my opponent is set to reversal, as you guys see. But he can't reversal through it because the forward 3 actually jails him into the EX elbow. And it does take a little bit of practice to get the timing down right because you can't mess it up. If you do a little bit too late, your sweep is going to miss. If you do it a little bit too early, you're going to sweep before the overhead is going to hit him. So it does take some timing. But what you want to do is forward 3, EX elbow. As you guys saw, I missed the timing right there. And then practice the timing, do a sweep. Almost at the same time when he does the overhead. You don't even like need to wait for it. Just like count to 1 or something like that. Just practice the muscle memory. And of course, put him in the same scenario if you have 2 bars of meter. And look at that. That is 66% of his life from 2 bars in the corner for a almost unblockable setup. That's like a 1 frame block. And you guys are wondering, what about if he's blocking low? Well, if he's blocking low, the overhead is actually going to catch him and launch him. As you guys see, if he's blocking low, the overhead is going to catch him. Put him in the same situation. And you go for the combo again. That is one of my favorite things about this variation. It is incredibly strong, guys. Practice it and use it. Save your bar of meter for the corner, because once you get in the corner with stunt double, it gets pretty crazy, because like I mentioned before, this is very plus. This jails gets you that setup, pretty much guaranteed damage, 29%. And, you know, especially if you have 2 bars and both your auras are available, it gets really scary. So that is going to be the end of the stunt double portion. Let's turn them off. Now let's talk a little bit about fisticuffs. Let's go to stand, bitch. There we go. Let's go to the middle of the screen. Fisticuffs, I'm going to talk about it real quick because it doesn't really take... There's not really much of a difference. So the ability that you gain in fisticuffs is the ability to do something called the speed back punches, which is, first of all, you get the ability to do a back 1, which is really good, right? This, it doesn't have that much range. The hitbox is pretty good, actually, but it is a 8 frame mid that he gets. So this becomes a really good punish tool. And the speed back punches are pretty much, you just press back 1, 2, and then you repeat it over and over again depending on how many hits you want. So I'm going to do it 4 times right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could do it 1, 2, 3. Or you could go crazy and just go like that. And, you know, the damage does scale, but it is so fun to catch someone in this. It is so satisfying to catch someone in that. I will say, be very careful, because the max hits that you could get your opponent in and still combo is 16. So you could do 16 of these and still combo your opponent. Wait, not 16, 9 is what I'm talking about. The damage is 16. That's why I was confused. So the max times that you can hit your opponent is 9, as you guys saw before. If you do hit your opponent, just keep it safe, keep it simple, and just, you know, go into your EX nut punch. It's not like... It's not good risking it, trying to do it on the very, very last hit, because there's been many times where I try to do that and my EX nut punch comes out while my opponent is blocking, and then I get punished for it. So if you do catch your opponent, just go into it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, this right here is an 8 frame mid, very, very good. And the speed back punches on hit, really, really fun. On block, they are pretty good as well, but they do have a flaw, which I'll show you guys right now. I wonder if Johnny will be able to do it. So, you know, you could do the same. Let me turn him off reversal first. You could do the same thing on block. You could just, you know, just keep going with the punches. You could just keep going with the punches, even if your opponent is away from you. You know, Johnny Cage can still do it. So you have to be very careful. You know, you don't want your opponent to not be blocking anymore and you still, you know, punching away, because you're going to get punished. So you have to be very careful how many punches you actually throw. I think you could throw 6 is the most before he gets pushed back enough for him to not be blocking anymore. So you could do something like that. And you might be thinking to yourself, wow, this is really strong, because look at the chip damage it does, and I'm sure it builds a lot of meter. But the weakness of the speed bags is you could actually armor after the 2nd hit, which I'll demonstrate now. Not random. Nutcracker, there we go. As you guys see, if your armor is fast enough, you're going to get blown up if you keep, you know, just trying to get your opponent in the speed back punches. After the 2nd hit, your opponent could armor through it every single time. He cannot backdash because the backdash will get caught, I believe. Oh, he can. Okay, okay. So I've actually tested it out before. I guess the backdash was slow, the one I was using. But it looks like you can definitely backdash if your timing is very good. But if you fuck up your timing, you're going to get caught by the punch because it's really fast. Let's see. Does Johnny have any slow armor? That punch is pretty fast. Drop kick. No, Johnny doesn't really have like really slow armor. If you have someone like Cyrax, who I was testing it out on before, if you have his reversal, Quan Chi, characters with slow reversals, you could actually armor break, which is very nice. But one thing you can do is you could actually bait your opponent's armor because back 1-2 is only -3 on block. So if your opponent thinks that you're going to do speed back punches and keep going and he's going to armor through it, you could actually stop at 2 and then punish him for it. As you guys see, so that's where the mind gates come in for fisticuffs. Does your opponent think that... I want a nutcracker. There you go. Does your opponent think that you're gonna stop at 2? So that means that you can't keep going with it, or is your opponent going to try to armor through it because he thinks that you're gonna go full on beast mode with the speed back punches? That's where you have to, see how your opponent's playing, feel him out, and maybe try it out one time. And if he knows about the gap, maybe try to bait it out and stuff. But the speed back punches are so much fun. They are so much fun. And that is actually a little bit hard to punish. Yeah, see? The EX version of the Nut Punch has a lot of pushback. There's a lot of characters that have a hard time punishing it. Try to do forward 3, did not work, but as you guys see, after the second hit, you could armor through it. So that's the flaw of this, variation. The other, cool thing about it, this variation is you actually get really good fireballs. You get the A-list fireballs, and these are really good for zoning. Let's take my reversal real quick. And you have the regular arc. As you guys see, they're mid. And you have the double arc. And one of the best things is you actually get the meter burn version. That means you could jail your opponent into the meter burn version of the fireball. So I'll put them back on. Nutcracker's on. There's a lot of special moves that you could actually jail your opponent in when you do the fireball. So you go forward 2-4 EX fireballs. As you guys see, he cannot armor through it. 1-1-4 EX fireballs, and he has to take that. So it's very good for chip damage, especially in game-ending situations. Does a pretty good amount of chip, like 5% chip. You get a jump in on your opponent, or you get him with a down 4, and you want to just close it out. Really good. So that is pretty much fisticuffs. And oh, I forgot one last thing is he does have the enhanced fisticuffs. So back forward 1. And what this does is it enhances your chip damage, and you get more damage when you hit your opponent. As you guys see, look how much chip damage I'm doing with this compared to when I don't have it. So it's a huge difference. And of course, if your opponent gets hit by this, you're gonna get a lot more damage. As you guys see, 37%, that normally would be maybe 32, 31%, something like that. So that is fisticuffs in a nutshell. Now let's move on to A-list, which I'm just going to briefly talk about. And let's see. A-list, there you go. I'm going to talk about it very, very quickly and just talk about, the plus frames, etc. So what A-list gains is the ability to cancel his special moves. So switch to player 1. So he could cancel his back forward 1 by pressing forward twice and running. As you guys see, he could cancel his what is it? Okay, so he could cancel his you know, flip kick. This one right here, he cancel it. He could cancel his forward 3-4, which is really good. Like this right here, you could charge it up, and you know, you could cancel his forward 3-4 without even doing a special move. So the reason this is so good is because you could actually cancel his forward 3 on whiff, which is crazy. He is the only character in the game that could cancel a move on whiff. Look at this, it's crazy. And the way you do that is the same as run canceling a special move. You just press forward, forward, and then the run button. So that's crazy. And, you know, pretty much you get stuff like this. You could do run cancel combos. You could actually run cancel twice in one combo, which I believe he's the only character who can do that. That was more of a dash cancel, but you know, for you guys who are really good at run canceling, you guys will get this variation down because it is very good. Let's see. Yeah, I suck at run canceling. That's why I don't use this variation. You could easily run cancel twice without your stamina bar winding down, but I can't do it because I suck. But that's pretty much the gist of A-List. You know, the pressure. All his run cancels are very plus, especially forward 3, really plus. So let's put him on Nutcracker Reversal. Whoops. Dude, I'm blocking. What the fuck? There you go. As you guys see, let's see if I can get it. You could actually do this cancel and jail your opponent just like I was jailing in Stunt Double. But my cancels are not on point. Yeah, my cancels suck. But if you have seen Johnny Cage players, you guys will know A-List Johnny Cage players. You could actually jail your opponent with 2 knees. You could do forward 3 cancel, and then still go for, you know, something like this. And your opponent has to take it. He can't reverse it through any of that. But, you know, like I said, that is the reason why I don't play A-List, because I suck with cancels. I can't even get his easiest. There you go. So as you guys saw there, I pretty much jailed him after forward 3, finally, after like a million tries. But that's pretty much it. You want to just keep the pressure. You go like this. You cancel any of your strings, you know, 1-1-3 cancel as well. As you guys see, if you cancel it fast enough, you can bait a lot of stuff. 3-3-3, same thing. And the best one is forward 3-4. Like forward 3-4 is so good because you could cancel it on whiff, which is ridiculous. As you guys see, you cancel it on whiff, but that is going to be it for the Johnny Cage video. Almost 30 minutes long, mostly covering stunt double and fisticuffs. Mostly stunt double because the variation that I have the most experience with. But if you made it this far, you guys are fucking awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And go out and try some Johnny Cage because he is so much fun. But that's going to be it. Catch you guys next time.